Less than 2 weeks ago, Elyse discovered a bump on her baby boy's head. She took him to the hospital and was shocked to learn that he had 2 fractures on his skull. CPS and the police intervened and refused to let her and her fiancé, Jamir, take the son home. And the story gets worse. When CPS interviewed her other children, Elyse's young daughter claimed that she had been cut with a knife and burned with a lighter. Both Elyse and Jamir say that they did not abuse their children, and they reached out to me to clear their names. Take a look.
Me and Elyse are being accused of harming my little baby. He has 2 fractures on his brain, and I just need answers. That's why I called the Steve Wilkos Show. Recently, Elyse found a small bump on my son's head. She took him to the hospital. It's a fracture. It's on his right side of his head, on the side and on the back of his head. This family member brought my son back to me without saying anything about a bump being on his head. When we confronted the family member, they said it was a spider bite. There was accusations of me doing this to my baby. We would never harm our kids, and that's why I'm here today to prove that. The CPS came back the following day and took our kids out of our custody.
Now that I feel like it's been taken all away from me because of somebody won't tell the truth.
Elyse and I did not do this to our child, and we want to clear our name, pass these tests, and show the world that we are good parents.
Everyone we went to for help, we couldn't get help from anyone. Everyone thought like either me or Jamir fractured my baby head, and I got so overwhelmed. Like, my family support me, but Jamir's family don't. The police, the CPS workers, they all don't believe us. Like, they just ripped our children right out of our lives. I've never been without my children, and I never had a CPS case, a previous one before. Never.
How did this all get started?
We let the baby go with a family member, and usually she keeps him for a few days because we live in 2 different counties. And she brought him back, and he was fussy. He wasn't himself. He a happy baby, you know. And
you were told by a family that this knot that was on his head, that was a huge spider bite? Yes. They said it was a spider bite, and me as a mother, I knew better. I'm like, no, the way it feel, this not a spider bite. So I took him to the hospital. They did a CT scan, and when the scan came back, they came in there and told me like the baby had 2 fractures on the right side of his skull, one by the template and the other one in the back of his head. And I broke down, like, because nothing never happened to my children. My 3 children before my baby, I never had any incidents, nothing. And what happened when Jamir arrived? He arrived, he was hurt, you know, and they told him like he was acting suspicious. And he was like, how am I acting suspicious? Like, this is my only child. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And he was asking me, but I couldn't tell him because I was hurt. I can't believe someone hurt a baby, you know? Right. So because of this, they did have to notify the police? Yes. And the police came? Yes, I allowed them. They told me that they would have to notify CPS because the baby was hurt and the police. And I told them that's fine. You know, I've never been, I don't know how CPS works. I've never been involved with them. Right. The whole point of CPS is to protect children from being abused. But did they say that they thought you did it? They ended up saying that later when we went to our first court date after they removed the children. What happened after you got home from the hospital? They came and inspected our home, and he asked me could he speak to my children one at a time in private. I told him yes, you know, because I don't have anything to hide. So yes, I agreed. And I heard him talking to my daughter. I overheard him, so I turned the TV down so I can hear him clearer. He said to her, like, we're gonna play a game. My mama whooped me on my arm, and she was like, oh, I don't get whoopings. And he was like, yes, you do. She said, no, I don't get whoopings. He said, yes, you do. So
went and opened the door. I said, you ask her a question, she give you an answer. Don't manipulate her. I explained to him, as a child, you don't manipulate a child. I gave you permission to talk to my children, but you're not gonna manipulate her. For that, you gotta go.
Right.
I put him out.
And then what happened when CPS went to interview your children at school?
So the next day, after I put them out the next day, unknowingly, they didn't call me and ask me enough. They went up to their schools and interviewed them all. I didn't know that they did this until they were coming to take the children.
What'd they tell you that your daughter said to them?
They said my daughter told them that I had been burning her with a lighter and cutting her with a knife. Me as a mother, I know every one of my children. I have 4 of them. I know them. I know what they'll do. I know what they'll say.
Do you believe your daughter said that?
I do not.
Yeah. Did your daughter have any injuries where they could have looked at it and said, what's going on here?
No, they didn't. When I asked for the proof, I wanted the pictures and a hospital report, they couldn't provide any of that. But I had went and did my own research. I went and got the hospital reports. They hadn't been to the hospital. My daughter hadn't been to the hospital since last year. She used to tell me she can feel her heart beating. So yes, I took her to the hospital last year on Christmas.
Right.
And they couldn't provide the pictures. Well, we don't have the pictures every time I ask. Every time we go to court, they don't have the pictures. So I assume these are all lies that they made up. My baby never said these words out of her mouth.
And where are your children now?
They're in foster care. They took them straight out of the home and put them all in foster care. I don't know.
When's the last time you saw your children?
When they took them, that's the last time.
How long ago was that?
December 9th of 2019.
Oh, so like 10 days ago. And you said you've never been investigated by CPS in the past,
I've never
right?
been involved with CPS at all. I'm a great mother. Not just a good mother, I'm a great mother that don't go out. I take care of my children. I go to work and come home.
All right, well, you came here to clear your name, and hopefully you can do that today. Let's meet Jamir. You know, it's tough to see a mother crying over her children that she doesn't have. You know, especially Christmas is right around the corner. That's the best time to have kids, right? What do you want to say about this whole situation that's going on?
I just want to get my name clear and my fiancé name clear, so they give us at least more of a push towards getting our kids back in our life.
Have you caused any injuries to your children?
No, I haven't, Steve.
Ever abuse them?
No.
You ever fly off the handle and get mad and take it out on the kids?
No.
If he were to fail, what happens?
I'm gonna leave him, and I'm gonna press charges on him.
What? What if she fails?
I believe 100% that she won't fail.
Right. Jamir, you came here and took a lie detector test. And we asked you, did you cause any of those head injuries to your 8-month-old son? You answered no. Did you witness anyone cause any of those head injuries to your 8-month-old son? You answered no. Results came back the same to each of those questions, and they came back that Jamir told the truth. Elyse came here and took a lie detector test, and we asked her, did you cause any of those head injuries to your 8-month-old son? She answered no. Did you witness anyone cause any of those head injuries to your 8-month-old son? She answered no. Did you ever burn your daughter? It's even hard to read that, you know? Did you ever burn your daughter?
That's craziness.
You answered no. Did you ever cut your daughter? You answered no. Results came back all the same, and they came back that Elyse told the truth. But I hope coming here today certainly will help you and start the process of getting your kids back.
Thank you so much.
It was very nice.